YouTube, it's Satch. Welcome to Driver 81. In this video, I'm going to be testing the new Porsche 992 to see if it really is worth, well, about £100,000. And we're starting right now. So if you're interested in Porsche vlogs, Porsche content on YouTube, then by all means, please consider clicking subscribe to this channel and also click the bell so you don't miss a single thing. I also want to give out a massive thanks to Porsche Centre Teesside, who have very kindly supplied me with this car for today. So let's get inside the car and take it out for a test drive. Okay, so I'm very pleased to have this opportunity today to drive this new 992. For followers of my YouTube channel, you will probably know that my initial reception of this car wasn't over sweet. It was quite savoury, in fact. There were a few things that I just didn't really like about the car, but in all honesty, they were all styling things. You know, I didn't like the rear grille on the back, I didn't like the way the bonnet met the wings, and a few other bits and bobs which I really just wasn't keen on. But ultimately, all I could really say was what I thought about the way the car looked. I didn't have any idea about the way the car drove, and hopefully I'm going to answer some of my own questions today, and I'll talk you through all of that. So hopefully a little bit of information about the car first of all. Well, it's a Porsche 911, it's a 2019 Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. It has 450 brake horsepower. It has an 8-speed PDK automatic gearbox. But don't worry purists, the manual is coming. It's a 3-litre twin turbo and it has a top speed of 190 miles per hour. Now Porsche Centre Teesside have very kindly allowed me to get up to 190 miles an hour today. Just kidding, there's too much at stake. Now these cars, they're available from about I think it's like £94,000, 94 to £98,000, depending on whether you go for the 2S or the 4S. The 4S obviously being the 4-wheel drive. 20-inch wheels on the front, 21-inch wheels on the back. And my initial impression of this car is, well, it's just what I expected really. It's very smooth, it's very comfortable. And you know what? It does feel like a 911. I was very worried that I'd be getting into this car and it would feel like a Porsche Panamera or a Cayenne or a Macan, something like that. But when I'm actually driving the car, it doesn't feel as big as it looks on the pictures. When I'm driving the car, it doesn't actually feel like a huge car. It just feels like, well, normal size. Probably about the size of a 991 in all honesty. But you know what? This is nice. This is really, really nice. I think I'm starting to come around to the 992. It has a 0 to 62 time of 3.6 seconds. If you go for the Sport Chrono, which is what this has, then that will do it in 3.4 seconds. The 0 to 99 miles an hour time is 8.3 seconds, which is pretty quick. So I think the best thing for me to do now is stick the button on for the sports exhaust. Oh, that sounds beautiful. That sounds delightful. I could very much get used to this. For anybody who thinks that the 991 or the 992 even might be just a little bit too tame and not really feel like a sports car, well, I am impressed. I am very impressed. Maybe a little too impressed, in fact. You know, when this car first came out, I just didn't really want to like it, because I knew it was a step away from what the purists really wanted and what the purists love 911s for. And it's easy to say that, well, Porsche are, you know, they're directing this car at a new breed of Porsche fans, not the guys who like the air-cooled stuff and the guys who like, you know, the manual gears and the GD3s and like to feel their way through everything. Well, you don't get that with this car, but you get a completely different experience, which is just as good. Obviously, you've got all of your, you know, your modern refinements of the car. I love these sport seats with the cloth middle and the leather stitching on the sides, the leather bolsters. The steering wheel is nice and thick, it's beautiful to touch. The digital display layout is, well, you can't see it all because of the size of the steering wheel, in fact. What I do like is this swooping sort of dashboard area, which has a lovely sort of carbon fiber effect on here. And what I absolutely love is these almost kind of fighter jet style buttons here. So we've got the hazard buttons, the traction control, the PDCC, the front lift system as well, and then obviously that all blends into this pretty huge navigation display system, and this is what actually replaces on the old 991s and the 997s, where you would have buttons for certain functions. Well, a lot of the buttons have now been put into this digital dashboard, and it looks great. It looks great. It gives you a full layout of the car. I'm going to click it into sport mode here, and that's going to firm up the suspension. The sports exhaust is on, so it's going to increase the throttle response time. Obviously, you've got the exhaust there, as I say, and as I say, it's going to feel a little bit rougher. So I can feel that now. It's a little bit sort of harder and harsher, the suspension, and I can just turn that off. Obviously, with one of these either fighter style jet buttons, or I can do it on the digital display there. But what about its competitors? Let's say, for example, this car cost £110,000. This car's been spec'd up quite well, so you might be looking at, say, £112,000, £115,000 for this car on the road. But what are its rivals and how much do they cost? Well, first of all, we've got the Audi R8, which to me is, well, it's a TT on steroids. A lot of people might disagree with that. That's what I think it is. I think the 911 looks 10 times better than the Audi R8. Audi R8 starts from about £125,000. What about the Aston Martin Vantage? Well, you may remember a few months ago I drove the new Aston Martin Vantage, £120,000. Looks like a Tesla. Not in the same league as a Porsche 911, unfortunately. As much as Aston Martin are trying to tap into a Porsche market, nowhere near. There's a 911. Give them a nice little wave. Then obviously you've got the Jaguar F-Type. Sounds great, looks okay, just doesn't look as good as a 911. From about £50,000 though, and that is really good business. Then we've got the Mercedes AMG GT, which looks okay, but I think you'd get bored of it after a while, £110,000. And then the BMW i8. Well, whoever put the BMW i8 in the same list as all of the other cars, I think they really do need the head looking at. £114,000 for one of those. Depreciation is, well, there isn't even a scale big enough. So when you look at the prices of the competitors versus the price of this car and the performance of this car and the looks of this car, the timeless design, the timeless looks of the car, I'd pick the Porsche 911 every single time. Okay, so there's no way I can be given a car like this for a short period of time and not try launch control. So I guess it has to be in sport mode. Foot on the pedal. Oh shit! Oh! Oh shit! Oh! Oh my God, oh my actual God. I felt like I was on a spaceship. That is absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was like an outer body experience. I can't believe that. I think I need to lie down after that. I lie down in a cup of tea. So what about the sports exhaust? Does the car need the sports exhaust? Well, I'm going to put my foot down without the sports exhaust on. Sounds good actually. And let's try it again with the sports exhaust on. Ah, yeah, you need sports exhaust. You definitely need sports exhaust. One thing I have noticed as I'm driving along here is that there does seem to be not a huge amount of road noise, but as I'm going over sort of bumpy road and uneven road, then it does seem that you can hear a few vibrations, maybe coming from the door cards, maybe coming from the pillars. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't make for a fantastic experience. So I'm not sure if that's just something that's happened to this car or whether that's going to be a characteristic of all the 992s. Does it feel big? Does it feel too big to be a Porsche 911? Well, it feels bigger than the other 911s. There's no hiding the fact that it's wider, it's longer, it's heavier. But does it feel that? Well, absolutely not. No. Does it feel like a Porsche 911? Absolutely yes. Is it suitable for daily driving? 100%. It's very smooth, nice to drive, it's easy to drive. You can fit your kids in the back. I've got a 997 which I've made videos on that you can drive it on a daily basis. This is no different. Obviously this is a bit bigger than my 997. So there's absolutely no question as to whether you can actually drive this car on a daily basis. The answer is emphatically yes. Are the interior controls easy to use while driving? Absolutely yes. It's all very well laid out, very clear and easy to understand. What about the digital dash? Absolutely no problems whatsoever here. Very easy to understand, very easy to see. Obviously, apart from the two end dials. I do like the way that they've gone back to a classic format with the 5 dials. What about the 8-speed PDK? Well, I never really questioned that, to be honest. I knew that was going to be good. It's awesome. If PDK is your thing, and it's not my thing, to be honest with you. I love a manual car. But if I was using this as a daily driver, PDK in this car is beautiful. I actually don't care about people saying, well, yeah, it's not air-cooled, it's not a manual, it's not a sports car anymore. The answer to the question, is it a sports car? It's definitely a sports car, absolutely, without a doubt. This is a fantastic sports car. Oh, and all I want to do is put my foot down and listen to that exhaust. Oh baby, oh baby, 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 baby. So as we're getting towards the end of the video, once again I'd like to thank Porsche Centre Teesside for giving me the opportunity to drive this absolutely stunning, stunning vehicle. I suppose, seeing as we're at the end of the video, I'd better sum up the video, or sum up the car should I say, in a few words. Well, it's bloody brilliant, absolutely amazing. And you know, it's very, very rare that I would say something like that about a new car, because I'm a kind of guy who likes the older stuff. I like the manual gearboxes, the stuff that I can feel my way through a car. But this is every bit a sports car as every other 911 that's gone before it. Well, maybe not every other 911, but it's certainly up there with the rest of them. So if you're interested in seeing more Porsche content on YouTube, then please consider clicking that subscribe button and clicking the bell so you don't miss a single thing. I post new videos about Porsche every single Thursday, and it'd be really good to have you sticking around on this channel. And maybe if you're interested in watching any of my other videos, you'll see them on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday for the next video.